Hello there, and welcome to Boom Beach, Dr. T for May the 10th. That's 510. Fantastic. Alright, we're going to start with level 1. Level 1 is pretty easy. Yes, there's a big scary boom cannon right there, but no, you don't have to worry about it. Basically what you can do is land on the right hand side. I went after the free GBE, of course. And then let your tanks wander over, and you're able to grab more free GBE, because I just assume everybody desperately needs it, because I know I always do. So, after we kill the flamethrower, you have to time it for that last shot to land just as your flare is midair, because that boom cannon gets really close, and I'm kind of paranoid after the mortar. And then flare up into the top corner, and then your tanks will naturally come down and take out the one remaining mortar, and move into position to pew-pew on the HQ, because that's what they do. Sorry. Yeah, I'll never make it as a rapper, I know. So, unless it's for maybe kids, you know, like Bobby went to the store to buy... I'm not even gonna try. Anyways, HQ down, moving on to level 2. Level 2, also another, how do I put it? A distance game. So basically, what you're gonna want to do is land on the right-hand side, and the beauty of this is you get some free GBE from blowing up these various storage locations. And then you're going to want to flare your troops and kind of gather them up. Like, hopefully your tanks will gather up on that bunker there. And then flare them right up just outside of the range of the boom cannon in the top right-hand corner. Because I'm assuming that you can't just straight up kill that boom cannon with GBE. By all means, if you can, do it. So then you're going to want to flare up right beside the rocket launcher, and then as that boom cannon turns and says, oh, there's tanks, you want to throw your stun down on it, and then once you're in the safety of that rocket launcher, flare right onto the boom cannon and take it out. If you have to refreeze or restun or re-shock bomb, whatever you want to call it, by all means definitely do that. And then once everything in the corner there is done, just flare them all the way up into the top corner as far as you can get them, and they'll naturally drift down and start shooting at the HQ with nothing shooting at them, which is fantastic, because then you can throw all your GBE and finish the HQ in 5 seconds. Or sit there for 2.5 minutes as your tanks slowly whittle away at it, which, you know, is probably closer to the actual case. Moving on to Stage 3, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I am not ashamed to admit it, I failed Stage 3 on my first attempt. And I don't even mean like I just landed and was like, oh no, I spent too much GBE, retreat. No. I actually ran right out of time on this bad boy. I don't even know how. So, going left-hand side... Oh wait, no, sorry. I ran out of time on Stage 4. Stage 3 was because I landed all of the troops, and I got about halfway up through those sniper towers and realized, hey wait, there's a few too many tanks here, what's going on? It was a rough morning. So, and I think I did that like 2 or 3 times, that's the worst part. And this is why I edit my videos, because, dear God. Alright, so basically go up along the top, start shooting things. Now, I believe this cannon right here has around 6k hit points, so if you've got some extra GBE you can toss on it, by all means, you know, soften it up a little for your tanks that are coming in, or completely take it out, totally up to you. I would suggest saving some of your GBE for, obviously, the barrage on the minefield there, because that thing could get painful. Also, there's going to be 2 stupid rocket launchers that are just firing at you constantly. Sorry, obviously with that shock, if you can't use damage on the cannon, or don't want to because you want to save the damage for those rocket launchers, by all means you can throw a shock, get both the sniper tower and the cannon in one shock, and let your tanks do their work. So basically, yeah, what I would suggest and what you might want to do is take out the rocket launchers with the GBE, because they'll be constantly whittling away at your troops, and it'll just basically minimize your troop losses while also doing damage to the HQ. So, you know, it's one of those like nice fancy things. The unfortunate part is each of those stupid rocket launchers has just around 6,000 hit points. I think just a little bit over 6,000. Maybe a little under. Either way, they do have some beefy hit points, so I'm throwing critters just because, but, you know, if you don't have critters, throw an artillery. If you don't have artillery, then how are you attacking stage 3? Because I'm pretty sure it's the first gunboat attack power ability that you get. Anyways, moving on to stage 4, and stage 4 was definitely the one that I ran out on. Basically, I am landing 2 landing crafts of tanks just because that's my equivalent of landing Zookas. And the good news is it's really easy to kind of plow through and make it clear for your Zookas. The bad news is you're going to have to watch out for that stupid shock launcher. What you might want to actually do is go with grenadiers instead of the Zookas, because they'll have a further range than the tanks, and they'll be behind the tanks. It's just they're a lot less accurate, which means that their damage may be sporadic. I think that's the nice way of putting it. But basically, if you go up, obviously I threw a buttload of GBE because I'm lazy and I was looking to just kind of hurry through, as this was my second attempt. And I'd like to point out that is, I actually let it run the entire duration of the attack, which means my previous attack was 4 minutes is the cap. So it like sat there for 4 minutes just... I actually started Googling how to adjust the speed, which, oh look at this! Things have sped up so nicely, hooray! Just to try and keep things shorter, because there's not much to this. It's literally cruise control to loot, and like throwing down some critters to try and do a little bit of extra damage. Anyways, like I was saying, with that boom cannon and sniper tower, both of those mofos are nasty. If you can't take them out with damage like I did because I was in a rush, by all means start throwing the shocks down on that thing, man. Just shock the crap out of it, and you should be able to clear through the 2 of them. And with that, and with the end of our fast forward, we will take down stage 4. That has just so many hit points. Horrible. And I do remember, like, back in the day, I think there was a phase where I was constantly racing the clock, and I wish someone had told me, oh yeah, do a load of friggin' Grens, it'll increase your damage, or do a load of friggin' Zookas, it'll increase your damage. I had to slowly figure that one out on my own, and I'm not that smart, so it took me a while. Anyways, I tossed critters on the other side just to gather up some free GBE because I'm a dink. Also because this attack takes quite a bit of GBE just to clean it up. Fortunately, the 2 boom cannons there are able to be taken out at the same time. And then the same thing with this boom cannon and shock launcher. You can take them out at the same time, which really leaves you 2 single boom cannons. So if you just toss the GBE onto the boom cannons, you should be able to clear them out, and then you can land on the beach just south of all of those nice free GBE buildings, and you can start pew-pewing. Now, Obviously, you can see my critters have done their work there. They've gotten me a bunch of GBE, and that allows me to do all my pew-pews and clear out all those things. If you can't clear out all the boom cannons and shock launchers and everything, obviously start with the one that's closest to that defensive health building statue, which is basically the first one that's going to have range and going to start attacking you. And then I do the shock launcher second, and then like as you get the GBE, try to clear through and empty those guys out. I may have dumped a few extra tanks and gone a little overboard just because I was like, you know what? Screw you, stage 4. Da-da! And yeah, I might have gone a little overboard, so I apologize. One box of critters, which hopefully, I don't know if you're doing stage 5 if you have critters or not, but if you got critters, it takes out, there's a couple boom mines and stuff there, it'll take out that whole whack. If you don't, hopefully you still have a barrage. I don't know, because like with all the things that you're killing, and it's gonna crank up the price of barrage. Worst case scenario, you might have to, you know, just suck it up and run over a few mines with your tanks. And then once you cleared things out, obviously flare into the bottom left hand corner and basically throw any remaining GBE at the sniper tower behind the HQ, because it will still have range, and unless of course you can just throw a ton of GBE on the HQ and finish it off, whatever your strategy is. Anyways, awesome crystal. So let's move. Wow, and 7 fragments. That's like getting a shard. Anyways, moving on to stage 6, which I kind of had a lapse in attention, and I kind of got my butt handed to me. So, to start, we gotta take out the boom cannons that are gonna be in the way. And then there's this cluster of sniper towers and boom cannons up at the top there. They're gonna have to go, but not until after the one on the shore is down. So what I do is I land all my guys, well, not all my guys, but at least most of my guys, down on the beach so they can take out that boom cannon and start taking out a couple of defenses. And then I kind of started having my lapse in attention. Now, these 4 sniper towers that are right here are really, really nasty. They do a number. They pretty much like melt one of my tanks just straight off. Which is why I started kind of being like, okay, I'm gonna throw some critters, sure. Now, this boom cannon, only the one on the right needs to actually go, and if you can at all, take out the 2 sniper towers that are touching it, because those sniper towers are bad, okay? Now, maybe I am spending too much time paying attention to what's going on with those sniper towers, and that's why I started losing more tanks. Oh no, I haven't lost any more tanks here. Oh, it must be when I get up closer to that boom cannon. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Save some GBE for that guy right there. I tried throwing some GBE at it, and it's just like too studly. There's too much. It just ain't gonna happen. So up the critters go to distract it after it erases a second tank. The cannons down on the left-hand side are slowly destroying my beautiful, beautiful tanks, and it leaves a rather shrunken army, we'll say. The good news is, once you're up and you take out that crazy boom cannon, you can pretty much sit there and snipe away at the HQ. Unfortunately, there is a sniper tower that is in range, and it will slowly work your guys down, as well as the rocket launcher. So we will start going a little bit quicker again. I'm so glad I googled this. This is really going to come in handy for those like 5-minute long 3 tank or 2 tank, you know, grindings, if you would. So basically, hopefully your medics should be able to keep everything standing from the rocket launcher and slow the progress of that sniper tower as you slowly take out the last of the HQ. And I'm not gonna lie, like, no boost on this attack. had I boosted damage, I'm sure, or health, or GBE, whatever, it would have made life a little easier. So if you're having problems getting past 6, try boosting your statues, and you should be able to get through. I know I squeaked past. I will call it a squeak. Which, hey, win is a win, but that will take us on to stage 7, which, with my whopping 4 tanks, I'm not actually going to make an attempt on. However, I will scout it and take a quick look, and it looks pretty nasty. There are a bunch of shock launchers that are all kind of in range. Now, I think if you go from the right-hand side, you only have to take out one of those mofos, but if you go right-hand side, there's still 3 rather beefy boom cannons. Now, you could probably avoid the one down at the bottom, but then you'd go high, and then you'd have to take out the extra shock launcher, and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to obsess over this before I make an attempt at it, but thank you very much, guys, for watching. Hopefully this has helped you out. Please, by all means, leave me some comments, some notes, some suggestions, anything you can. I would really appreciate it. And most importantly, have yourselves a great day.